morning, Brecken. Alright, so let's go over your homework. They've been studying Brecken pages 172 through 180, so if you want to pause the video so you can study that as well, you can. Alright, so let's go over the homework though. So number 6, what are the building blocks of proteins? Maddie. What was it? Did I say 7 or 6? Number 7, what is the type of protein that has an intricate three-dimensional shape? Globular proteins. Alright, number 6, what are the building blocks of proteins? Maddie. Oh, it was 7 and 8, I'm sorry. Number 8, what is the purpose of DNA? I'm sorry. No, 7, number 8, what is the purpose of DNA? Maddie. I just want to make sure now. Say it one more time, I just couldn't hear you.
The purpose of DNA is to hold genetic information that determines an organism's structure.
Good job, that's it. Alright, you can go ahead and put that away. Alright, because it's a half day, I'll let y'all pick which game would y'all like to play today.
Darts.
Would y'all really want to play darts? Okay. I'm gonna have to point you up at the ceiling, Brecken, because I can't show their faces on YouTube. Because people will be creeping on them. People are weird, no one. I'm not gonna answer. I'm going to not say anything. Alright, we'll start with Maddie, because I feel like I traumatized Maddie a little bit. Alright, Maddie, what is the study of carbon in particular with chemistry? Organic chemistry. Come get your darts. Sorry, Brecken. Someone remind me at the end of class, at the end of the review game though, to pull it back down so Brecken's not staring at the ceiling the whole day. I did that in another class where they had to watch the ceiling for like half the time. Sorry. Alright, we'll just go forward and just loop around. So Audrey, let's see, what do you call the organic compounds that contain only hydrogen and carbon?
Hydrogen carbon.
Yep, just straightforward. Alright, what do you call the type of hydrocarbons that only have single bonds? Alkanes. Watch out for my part. Hey, not bad. Alright, Kittle's turn. What if you have a double bond?
Alkene.
Alkenes. Hey, good job. Alright, Noah, what if you have a triple bond? What are you called?
What's already been said?
What?
What has already been said?
I feel like you should know that.
It's like alkenes and alkynes,
Is it? Better take a stab at it. Triple bond.
I know said that. Alkenes and alkynes.
Two answers.
No, I said what you both said.
No, it's not gonna say on the quiz alkanes and alkenes have already been used, so what's the last one? You just need to know what's triple bond. That's not it either.
Alkanes.
Nope. Alright, permission to raise your hand to steal it then. You may guess again, Noah, if you can get it fast enough. Go. He called you, Brandon got it. Alright, buddy.
Alkyne.
Alkynes. So alkynes, triple bond, alkynes. Alright, Maddie's turn. Alright, Maddie, what do you call just the ring-shaped small hydrocarbons? Yep. Well, yes. It makes the S sound, but yes. Good job. Ooh. Brecken's probably wondering what's with the whole snapping thing. Alright. Then it's Audrey's turn again. Alright, Audrey, what do you call it if you have the cyclic structure but they're delocalized electrons? Electrons. I need so much more coffee.
Aromatic.
Aromatic compounds. Alright, Audrey. Alright, Gavin's turn. Alright, Gavin, what do we call the type of hydrocarbons that are different? Bits of them have been changed over, or changed. What do we call the type of hydrocarbons? Where they're not just hydrogen and carbon anymore, something about them's different. Substituted hydrocarbons. So they're still a hydrocarbon, but something's different.
Ooh.
Alright, Kendall's turn. Alright, Kendall, what do you call the group of atoms capable of replacing the hydrogen? So what do you call the part that gets shifted out and put in? F. Group of atoms capable of replacing a hydrogen atom in the hydrocarbon. So it could be an OH, it could be the COO, it could be the COOH. What do we call those? Alright, first person to raise your hand, steal it. Go. I think that was Noah, barely.
Substitute.
No, let's guess though.
Formula group.
Formula group? Wait.
Yes.
Not quite. Alright, I think Audrey's next. Functional group. I'll take it. Functional group. So remember, that's the one that replaces. Its function is to replace the hydrogen. I hope you can remember it. Write it down, Noah. Ooh.
Yay.
I think it's touching it once.
It's on
What do you
blue.
think? It is barely touching it. Barely. This one's more than 17 though, so you have that one. Audrey, I don't know if I don't, Audrey, no. No, it's like a sliver is touching it. Alright, let's see. I think it's Noah's turn now. Alright, Noah, what do you call the organic compound that has the OH functional group? A alcohol come through. Was this your first time, Noah? I'm sorry.
So, where do I stand? Right here.
It's supposed to be, yeah, this line. I'm not sure why you're standing so far back. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, Maddie, what do you call the hydrocarbon that has the carboxyl group, or the COOH? Good job. Carboxylic acid.
Yeah, I feel like I'm really-
One. One word.
Alright, Audrey's turn. Alright, Audrey, what do you call the hydrogen chain that replaces the hydrogen atom of the carboxyl group? So, instead of having it with it like this, that's not right. Instead of having it like this, nope, still not right. Excuse me. So it's the CO and then it's the OH down here. So this swaps over and it makes them longer hydrocarbon chain. What do we call it whenever it's COO? That's the ester. Good job.
That's what you get.
Alright, what do you call the molecule that has a polar and a non-polar end? Nope, good job. Nice try, Gavin. Alright, Kendall, what do we call soap molecules today, technically, so they don't react with hard water? Yep. Detergents. Hey, not bad. Alright, what do you call a long chain of molecules?
What's up?
P. P. much smaller molecule is those monomers? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why that happens. I really don't. Alright, back over to Maddie. What do we call the process where we break the double bonds and we add on extra hydrogen? I'm sorry, not add on extra hydrogen to make a long chain, but yes, what's your answer? Good job. Polymerization.
What?
Are you
Okay.
11 or read through? It's almost perfectly split. Alright, what do we call the study of the chemistry of living things? Biochemistry. So impressive. Alright, Gavin, what do we call the small carbohydrates? Yes? This is what Audrey said over and over again yesterday. The carbohydrates.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, like yesterday.
Didn't look at the word.
Nope. Alright, first person raise your hand. Oh, okay.
Sugar.
Sugars. I think you're ready. You're ready to move. You're like, wait, I've got it. I just wanted just to sit here. Well, it's on. Yay, protein. Alright, Kendall, what is the process whereby glucose is made? How do plants make sugar? There you go. Ask if he doesn't start. Well, we talked about it all like it is really. Alright, what do you call the what do you call the hydrocarbons that have replaced the OH from the carboxylic acids and it forms out another hydrocarbon chain? I'm gonna draw it up here so Brendan can still see it. So instead of it being like this with the carboxylic acid, it keeps adding on. I know I drew it down here, I just wanna make sure Brendan can see it in the video.
What's the soda?
What type of hydrocarbon? What?
I don't know, like,
If it has the COO.
ester.
There you go.
Finally.
Okay. Alright, do you wanna read through or do you wanna take the two? Okay. Okay, not too bad. Alright, so what do you call, I'm just thinking about it, what is the hydrocarbon that has the OH functional group? OH. Alcohol. What if it has the COO where it's replaced part of the carboxyl group?
Ester.
Yeah, just say ester. What if it has the COOH where it has a carboxyl group? What do we call that type of hydrocarbon? Carboxylic acid. Alright. What do we call the process where you break the bonds and to add it on to a long chain with the monomers? What do we call that? Polymerization. Alright, anyone have any questions? Alright, clear your desk of everything. Take out one piece of paper to use as a cover sheet and a pen. Brackets, you're gonna have to ask your dad for the quiz. So watch your dad for it, pause the video. Don't watch the rest of the video if you're able to take it. One piece of paper, pen. Alright, so looking over it, that first section, let me get over so I can look at my quiz. attach your description with the correct terms, so pay attention to what you're doing. Don't double jeopardy yourself. Anybody need more time? You need more time, Gavin? Well, do you or don't you? Your quiz, do you need more time or not? Okay, it's okay, it's fine, I'm not rushing, I'm just checking to see. Alright, anybody need more time? Alright, go ahead and hand it to me, and then go ahead and ahead. Thank you. What? Alright, so we were talking about biochemistry yesterday. So what do you call a group of biological, oh, and a side note, who has 50 or more points? We had a couple of high people, high rollers in the last couple of games, in the last game. I don't know how y'all find those. Alright. Alright, who got 75 or more? Oh, okay. 55 or more? 60 or more? 70 or more? Alright, Kendall won. Don't forget the king. Alright, so we're talking about biochemistry. What do you call the group of biological compounds characterized by insolubility in water, Gavin? What do you call the group of biological compounds characterized by insolubility in water? Noah, help him out. Alright, anyone remember? Alright, lipids. Make a note of lipids on page 183. So lipids, make sure to note of it. Alright, what do you call it whenever you have a fat molecule that consists of 3 fatty acids and a handle, or that glycerol molecule? What do we call that substance? Maddie? Kindle. Alright, on page 183 again, we just call it a fat molecule because it has 3 fatty acids hooked onto it. Alright, what do we call it if it has a double bond somewhere in it to where it's not as full of hydrogen as it could be? Audrey. If it's not as full as it could be. Unsaturated. What do we call unsaturated fats that are liquids at room temperature, Noah?
Saturated.
What do you call an unsaturated fat that is a liquid at room temperature? No, you were right. Go back.
Monosaturated. Polyunsaturated.
Nope.
Linoleic acid.
Nope. Nope. Go back. Go back. Go back. Can't go help him out. Alright, Gavin, help them out.
Unsaturated.
No, what do you call unsaturated fat at room temp as a liquid at room
I just
temperature?
said that,
Oh.
Gavin.
Alright.
Right?
Oh my goodness. Alright, unsaturated fat that's a liquid at room temperature. Maddie. Oil. So it's right above the diagram on the left side. So fats that are liquids at room temperature are called oil. So they're the unsaturated ones. Okay. What? Italicized terms count too. So make sure you're looking for it. I know it's Friday. I know the quiz is over, so I know you want to like delete everything. But no, still stay with me. Stay. Alright, what's the other type of lipid, that's what your body uses to make bile and vitamin D? What's the other one that your body needs? Kendall? No. Yep. Okay, cholesterol. Make a note for cholesterol. Make a note of the process as well. Whenever you break the double bonds in a fat molecule to add an extra hydrogen, that's hydrogenation. So make a note of that as well. Alright, so we left off talking about it. So there's actually 2 different types of lipoprotein. So you have the LDL and the HDL. The LDL stands for low density lipoprotein, and the HDL stands for high density lipoprotein. Alright, everyone want to guess which one's actually better for you?
The low.
I know it sounds like that, but it's actually the reverse. So the HDL, your book points out that one actually reduces the risk of cardiovascular diseases. So if you want to remember it as HDL, it stands for high density lipoprotein, but if you want to remember it as the healthy lipoprotein, the H stands for healthy, that if you want to help remember it that way. Someone last year, or 2 years ago, for the LDL, since that one's the bad one, and they memorized it as living death lipoprotein. So that helps you to remember. Okay, that's not what it stands for, but they could not remember which one was the good one, which one was the bad one. What?
Stand for that.
No, low density, it's referring to how dense it is. So low density lipoprotein, so remember living death from the bad one. Helps you remember it. Well, the HDL, that one is actually the good one for you. Alright, your book points out as well that trans fat, that's another type of unsaturated fat, that one increases the LDLs. Also come you don't want to eat a lot of trans fat today. Most of your products today don't really have trans fat in them in America, just because you know how unhealthy they are, but your book's still just pointing out that you don't want to use them. Alright, other lipids, so we have phospholipids. Anyone know what phospholipids are used for? We'll talk about this in biology more. Alright, it makes up your cell membrane. What's important about your cell membrane, Kendall? It's okay, this class is only 12 more minutes. It'll be okay. Alright.
Keeps your cells sterile.
Okay, yeah, so it's the edges of your cell. So this membrane, it helps keep the cytoplasm on the inside of it. So it's a phospholipid. Your book points out steroids is another example of lipids, and then keratines. That includes vitamin A, so I get another example of a lipid. Alright, proteins. So proteins, these are complex organic molecules used to build and maintain living cells. What are they made up of? You've learned this since way back in junior high, Gavin. What are they made up of? Okay, technically, whenever you're going to go eat protein, what are you going to eat?
That thing.
Yeah, technically you eat meat or dead things. But what makes up protein, Noah?
Amino acids.
Good job. So that's what this is an example of,
Yeah.
showing you in this thing. So make a note there, known as the building blocks of proteins. Make a note for that one. They have the same basic root, so that's what your book's showing you up here, that they have the same basic root. Then they'll add on a little different section, and that determines the entire structure of the amino acids. Your book points out there's only 20 different amino acids, but it's kind of like the letters of the alphabet. How many letters are in the English alphabet?
5.
That's vowels. How many letters? Guess again, Noah. Close.
23. 26.
26, yeah, so there's 26 letters in the English alphabet. But you can use all of those letters to make a whole bunch of different words. You're not just stuck with just 26 words. You can combine them over and over again to get all the different ones. So let's come your book pointing out that there's only 20 different amino acids, but how you hook them together, you can make thousands of proteins. So your book pointing out that there are a bunch of them for it. So assuming that there's a bunch of different types, and for you can hook them together to make different structures. Let's see. So your book points out that proteins are some of the most most complex molecules of the cell. I don't know if there's thousands of proteins. I think I misspoke, but there is a bunch of different types. So that's the reason why you can use amino acids to build them. Alright, so let's see. Alright, sources of amino acids. Where do you get amino acids mainly from, Kendall? Where I talked about this loosely.
Protein.
Okay, yeah. So protein, and then where do you get protein from? What did you say, Noah? Okay, that's one source of it. What else, Kendall?
Food.
Like?
Food.
Like?
Meat.
Okay, yeah, so meat is what we associate it with. So typically meat or animal products is what we associate with. You can get it from plants as well, like beans and grains and other things for it. Animal sources already have all of the amino acids. Your body can make some of them, but some of them your body can't. So because of that, you have to go out and eat them. We call these essential amino acids because you have to get them from some food source. Your body cannot make them. This is why if you're going to be a vegetarian, you have to plan it out. Think of, okay, what am I going to eat to make sure I'm getting all of my essential amino acids? What is a vegetarian on the side note? Anyone know? Be nice. Yeah, so sometimes vegetarians, they will eat animal products though, so like eggs and cheese and dairy. So what do you call someone that doesn't eat any type of animal products at all? Wait. Be nice. Vegan. So it's okay if you want to be vegetarian or vegan. Sometimes people do it for health reasons. But that's probably the reason why they have to plan it out and say, okay, I want to make sure I get all of my essential amino acids. I can't just eat green beans every day for my entire life. That's kind of gross as a side note. But you can't do that because you're not getting all of your nutrients from it. So you have to be careful and plan it out. Alright, anyone have any questions about that? Alright, so your book starts talking about how you have a protein form up. They're hooked together with these peptide bonds. So make a note for that. Amino acids linked together by a peptide bond. What they're showing you is that they will form water and they will form up a bond between them. That's what they're showing you in this one, that they have two amino acids. Then, so it'll lose the OH and the H, that turns into water, and then it forms up a single bond in between them. So we call these peptides, we call these peptides, and we also call it, for proteins, polypeptides, because there's multiple peptide bonds on the inside of it. That's another name for them. So it forms a peptide bond and water. So your book points out most protein chains consist of several hundred amino acids on the inside of it. So just make a note though that proteins are linked together by these peptide bonds, where you're having them form up water and then being hooked together. Anyone have any questions about that? Alright, there are two different types of protein. You have the straight ones, and then you have the ones that are globular, or they're kind of folded in on each other. So your book's pointing out that there are two different basic shapes for them. So make note, the fibrous proteins, those are fairly straight. Your book points out your hair, your fingernails, toenails, animal hooves, and claws are composed of fibrous protein. So this is what the straight protein, or the long chains of them, make up. Your book points out natural silk and gelatin also contain fibrous protein. Alright, natural silk. What makes natural silk? Type of animal. Alright, Audrey?
Worm.
A worm. So the silkworm is in China. Alright, anyone know where gelatin comes from? Remember this? On this we use this in things like Jello.
Horse.
Yeah, typically I looked it up just to see. People used to say it comes from ground up horse hooves. Not as much anymore. It comes from ground up bones now, which is not any better. But it comes from ground up bones and the hide, which again doesn't make you feel any better about it whatsoever. So whenever you're eating Jello at grandma's or your aunt or uncle for Christmas or Thanksgiving, you can think of eating ground up bones on the inside of this, but it's okay. So just make notes of gelatin. So make note that's the fibrous protein. Those are the chain ones, long ones. A globular protein, this is whenever it folds up in on itself. Kind of how like whenever you take a rope and you twist it over and over and over again, and it starts to get all twisted and all kind of like folded in on each other. That's the same idea of the globular proteins. They start to fold in on each other. Now, they get folded up on the inside of the cell. It takes them about a minute to do it. There's a special type of globular protein. These are called enzymes though. So, this is an example of a globular protein. So these are enzymes. Alright, anyone remember what an enzyme does? Okay, they're known as biological catalysts. So these are on the inside of your body. What is a catalyst? We've already talked about this in this class.
Shortcut thing.
Okay, yeah, so it speeds up a chemical reaction. And so, this is basically something that can speed up chemical reactions on the inside of your body. Your book points out in some cases they can start, speed up, slow down, or even reverse chemical processes. Typically, we associate them with speeding up the process, but the chemical, unlike the enzymes, are super important. Alright, next page. Bless you. Let's read about the multi-purpose enzyme, papain, really quick, and then that's probably as much time as I'm going to have. Alright, who wants to read first? Kindle.
Many extensive cuts and meat and island have with the strong protein chains connecting the muscle cells underneath. These tendinizers, which use natural enzymes, can be added to make the meat as tender as more expensive cuts and meat. Several meat tenderizers all use papain, an enzyme extracted from the copper plant. Papain is
Alright, papain is how you say it.
designed to cut protein molecules next to any lysine,
Lysine, alright.
lysine,
Arginine
and
and phenylalanine is how you say those. They're mouthfuls.
acids in the chain. These amino acids are common in muscle fibers and connective tissue of it.
Good job. Alright, and we want to read next? Audrey. Papain.
Usually in the form of powders, there's a lot of adhesive ones made. Immediately goes for cutting protein chains. Like most enzymes,
Papain.
pain works best at room temperature or slightly above. task, and the meat is allowed to warm to room temperature. As the 13 chains are cut, the meat becomes progressively tender. When the meat is cooked, the high temperatures break down into
Cocaine.
and it ceases to function.
Alright, last paragraph, wants to read it? Noah.
Meat tenderizer can also be used to stop the pain of jellyfish stings. Jellyfish secrete a complex protein poison that remains on the victim's skin and continues to cause pain long after the victim is stung. When applied to the victim's skin, the pain quickly breaks down the poison into harmless groups of amino acids, halting the damage to easing the pain of the sting.
Good job. Alright, how many of you have been stung by a jellyfish before? Sorry, Noah. Sorry, Maddie. So, typically the lifeguard, if they're gonna go dump something on it, typically they don't have meat tenderizer, like, with them. Typically they use something else. Do you know what they use typically, Maddie? The lifeguard do this for you or no? What? That works. Alright. Yeah, typically they use vinegar. That works to help it off. Now, it's still not fun, but it helps it to go away. Alright, I think this is as much time as I have, so go ahead and stop there. Alright, go ahead and pick out your assignment test. Alright, what is due December 4th? Investigation plan is the final draft. So, how much is it worth, Noah?
10 points.
No, 2 quiz grades, so make sure that you do not forget that it is due December 4th. So write that down in that investigation plan. Alright, for the rest of your homework, you have a good holiday and enjoy it. But make sure that you work on that investigation plan if you need to. So that way Monday when you come back, it's not surprise, it's Friday. So make sure that you are working on it. Alright, thinking back over it, there are 2 types of proteins. Whether you have the long straight chains and then you have the folded up ones. What do you call the long straight chains, Noah?
Long straight chains.
No, not quite. Kendall. No, Noah. I mean, sorry, not Noah, Gavin. What do you call the long straight chains? S.